Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Keytime Sports. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and the KeyOnMillions.co. Here is my media feed. Here is my profile so that you will know it's me. Here's my profile so that you will know it's me. And we also have merchandise that is live and currently ongoing. We will also have more merchandise at the end of this month. And we will be rolling out new merchandise for the rest of this year. So now, the team that we're going to be talking about today is the LA Clippers. Now, the Clippers, they are almost at the bottom of the West, but ever since December 19th up until now, they have been, December 26th up until now, they have the best record in the league since December 26th. And I'm going to give you all the roster, who's all on the roster. And after that, I'm going to tell you all their future outlook. So, first we have for the Clippers, Delano Banton, Nicholas Batum, Bradley Beal, Boban Bogdanovic, Cam Christie, John Collins, Chris Dunn, Darius Garland. He was just acquired in a trade from Cleveland just last week. Isaiah Jackson, Derrick Jones Jr., Kawhi Leonard, Brook Lopez, Benedict Mathurin, Jordan Miller, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, Kobe Sanders, Ty Washington Jr. So that is the roster for the LA Clippers, and they started out cold at the start of the season, but as you can see from the player statistics, you have Kawhi Leonard. He averages 27.9 points per game. James Harden, he is not there anymore, so they need to update. They need to update this chart. So Isaac Zubac 14.4, Jay Collins 13.9, D Jones Jr. 9.9, Jay Miller 9.3, B Mathurin 9.0, B Bill Bradley Bill 8.2, Chris Dunn 7.8, Boban Bogdanovic 7.6, Kobe Sanders 7 points, Brook Lopez 6.6 points, Isaiah Jackson 5 points, P Baldwin Jr. 5 points, Nicholas Batum 4.4, Niederhauser 3.8, Cam Christie and T Washington Jr. 3.4 each, D Banton 3.0, K Brown, and Chris Paul, he got traded to the Raptors, so he's no longer on the team, so he's not there. So K Brown 2.9, Jay Telford 0.1, and R Dennis 0.0. So, as far as the Clippers in this situation, we all know that the Clippers, they are one of those teams that nobody is really going to watch. No matter how good they look, no matter if they are on a winning streak right now or they've won, I'm going to say 18 games out of the last 27, dating back to December and all of that nobody is going to look at the Clippers because the Clippers, they don't generate ratings like other teams do, like the Celtics, the Lakers, the Warriors, and all those other teams that have so much more prestige in their franchise history than the Clippers. Now, Clippers, as far as their schedule concerned, wait a minute. First off, let me talk about their lineup. The lineup for the Clippers now is Kawhi Leonard. Then you have Jones. Let's see. I'm going to go back to their roster. The lineup for the Clippers, they have Kawhi Leonard, Derrick Jones, You have Darius Garland, and you have Jordan Miller, and you have Nita Hauser as your starting lineup. Clippers, they are not going to go very far in the playoffs, and who knows if the Clippers even get to the playoffs, because right now the Clippers are, according to the standings, the Clippers are in the, I'm going to say the 10th spot, but just to make sure, Clippers are way down there. They are in the 10th spot. They are in the 10th spot, and if they are in the 10th spot and they have a lot, I do mean a lot of difficult games ahead of them. Good luck with the I'm gonna tell this to the I'm gonna say this to the Clippers. Good luck trying to beat Phoenix multiple times, Minnesota, Denver, Houston, San Antonio, and we all know OKC is pretty much the odds-on favorite to win the West. So Clippers, they got a tough road. But let me get back to their lineup, because from what I see in their lineup, it's not going to be able to hold up in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go back to their roster, and then I'm gonna go to their depth chart. So, like I was saying, as far as the lineup, you have Derek Jones, Isaiah Jackson, Benedict Mathurin, and then you have Yannick Kona Niederhauser as far as their lineup. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. For bench production for the Clippers is, I'm gonna say, decent. It's the middle of the pack. That's what it is. It's the middle of the pack, and I think that as we go later on in the season, I believe the Clippers, they are going to be one of those teams that are not going to be able to make it to the playoffs, because they lost so many games coming out of the break. I mean, after the first 20 games, I believe the Clippers were like, I would say 7-13, or maybe 5-15, because we all know that if anybody was looking at the Clippers during the first 10 or 12 games, they didn't even stand a chance. They were getting blown off the floor. Blown off the floor night in and night out early in the season. But we have to look at the previous 20 games that they've had, and I can say the previous 20 games that they have had, they look pretty good. And I saw the Clippers on Sunday before the Super Bowl, and I mean, the Clippers, they were efficient during that game. They were efficient. Kawhi Leonard, he had over 25 points. Then the bench production came in, and as far as bench points, they had 40 bench points, and it was pretty much a blowout. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, they tried to make a game of it, but they were not able to do so. So now we get to their depth chart. So this is their starting lineup. Like I said, Darius Garland, Benedict Mathurin, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, and Brook Lopez. And then you get to their second lineup: Chris Dunn, Kobe Sanders, Derrick Jones Jr., Nicholas Batum, Isaiah Jackson. Third, Boban Bogdanovic, Jordan Miller, Derrick Jones Jr., and Yannick Kona Niederhauser. So, the Clippers, one thing I can say, let's look at their schedule. Because one thing about their schedule, they started off the season pretty much cold. Because, I mean, when you see like the first 2 weeks Like I was saying, well, basically, I would say the first month and a half of the season, they weren't doing anything. They weren't. And as you can see in that first 15 games, they only won five. Five out of 15 games. Well, 5 out of 20 games, excuse me. And then we get to December. Late December, they were coming on strong. Then early January, you lose to Boston. Then you lose to New York on January 7th. Then you get to January 30th, you lose to the Nuggets. February 2nd, which was last week, you lose to Philadelphia, you lose to Cleveland, you win versus Sacramento and Minnesota, and last night you lost to Houston. And tonight you have Houston again. So, one thing that I can say about the LA Clippers is, are they even going to have enough wins to make it to the playoffs? I'm not talking about, I understand that they are in the play-in tournament right now, but even in the play-in tournament, you are going to have to win 2 games to get into well, you're already in the play-in tournament, but you're going to have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs. Like I be telling people, the play-in tournament does not constitute as the playoffs. You have to win, when you're in the play-in tournament, you have to win 2 games to get into the playoff round. So right now, what I see with the Clippers, for them to finish out, I could see right now they are 25-28. Right now, I could see the Clippers, winning. I could see the Clippers winning 45 to possibly 47 games, being one of those teams that, sneak into the play-in tournament. But outside of that, what else do you expect? Because I mean, this remaining schedule, not to mention you still have San Antonio and Oklahoma City on, you have to play them multiple times. Because March 6th, the Clippers play San Antonio. Then March 16th, the Clippers play San Antonio. April 2nd, the Clippers play San Antonio. Then April 8th, you play Oklahoma City. And it seems, and not to mention, you'll have some tough games with East teams in there. You got the New York Knicks on March 9th. You got Orlando. Then you have Toronto. So this is gonna be a tough season to, well, a tough point to end on the season, because like I always say, and I've seen this before, a team that has won 25 games to this point in the season, the chances of a team getting to the playoffs is only 35%. And the chances of them winning a first round playoff series, chances of the Clippers winning a first round playoff series, historical according to historical NBA context, over the past 50 years of teams that have won at least 25 games before the All-Star break, it's only a 17% chance that the Clippers would win their first round playoff matchup. And this leads right into my next point. So we all know that the Clippers, for years, Clippers have just been, I'll say, a flash in the pan, a consistent flash in the pan. You're not going to get anything from them consistently. You're not going to get a deep playoff run from them consistently year in and year out like you do these other teams. But for the Clippers, it's always good. It's always good to be, second fiddle to one of the biggest teams in one of the biggest sports markets in the world. Because like I said, Clippers, they ain't selling out no tickets in their arena. The Lakers, they always selling out tickets. Now, even though the Lakers, they are, going through some tough times right now, everybody gonna still flood the Lakers arena. Nobody ain't coming to the Clippers arena and watching the Clippers. It's never been like that, and it'll never be like that. Never. So so back to what I was saying. Clippers, I don't know what they are gonna do as far as first round. Now that if they were able to make it into the playoffs, their first round matchup would be OKC. OKC or either OKC or either the San Antonio Spurs, because San Antonio right now is the second team in the West. Does anybody see the Clippers? Does anybody see the Clippers making it a respectable series between OKC or the Spurs? Because if the Clippers play the Spurs or Oklahoma City in the first round, I could see that being a foregone conclusion and it being a clean sweep, 4 games. Clippers, they wouldn't even get a game off of the Thunder or the Spurs because the Spurs and the Thunder, they are more they have a more deeper team, and as far as their efficiency, they have more efficient players. Clippers are just trying to keep their head above water, as you can see when it comes to these statistics and standings. That's all that they are trying to do is keep their head above water. And as you can see, the Spurs, they won last night over the Lakers. So, Clippers, I don't see the Clippers going anywhere, America. Now, one thing, the Clippers, they are one of the worst organizations in the NBA, ran organizations in the NBA. And this goes all the way back to the previous owner. I'm not going to mention his name, but if you don't know who I'm talking about, just look up the LA Clippers previous owner. But Steve Ballmer, he is a very, very energetic and enthusiastic owner. I would love to play for an owner like that, a chairman like that, and also he's also always so vibrant at NBA games. But like I said, the tickets for a Clippers game is pretty much 3 times lower than what a Lakers game is. And the reason why that is because, like I said earlier, nobody is selling out tickets to go and watch the Clippers. Nobody. And we all know that the Clippers, they have been that one team that has been at the bottom of the barrel. I'm going to show you all their franchise history. And this started all the way back when they were the Buffalo Braves, when they were in Buffalo. So, Buffalo Braves, they were the Buffalo Braves from 1970 to 1978. And they only had 3 winning seasons when they were the Buffalo Braves. And I'm going to just tell y'all something. In the last 25 years, the Clippers have only gotten past the second round. The second round just once. Just once. But from 70 to 78, they were called the Buffalo Braves. They only had 3 winning seasons. Then from 78 to 84, they were called the San Diego Clippers. They had only 1 winning season when they were in San Diego. And then 1984, they became the Los Angeles Clippers, and Los Angeles Clippers were the joke of the NBA, and at times they are still the joke of the NBA. As you can see this, so many losing seasons, and then you get to 91, 92. they were they had a winning record. They were 45-37. Then 92, 93, 41-41. They get to the playoffs and they lose to the Jazz in the first round. When it was best of 5, this was when it was best of 5, America. So they get to the playoffs in 92, 93, lose to the first round to the Houston Rockets. Then there's a 3-year absence where they didn't even make it to the playoffs. 96, 97, they get swept by the Utah Jazz. And then here is I'm going to say a 7-year absence of not making the playoffs at all. And then we get to 2006. They make it to the playoffs. They win their first round matchup over the Nuggets, lose in the conference semifinals. That's the second round. So they've gotten to the second round twice. So from the 06 season to the 2011 season, they did not make the playoffs. And then we get to the 2010s where it seems like year after year they were making the playoffs, but they couldn't get over the hump. 2012, they made the playoffs, won the first round over the Grizzlies, lost to the Spurs in the conference semis. 2013, lost in the first round to the Grizzlies. 2014, lost to the Warriors, won versus the Warriors, and lost versus the Thunder. 15, lost to the Spurs. Won versus the Spurs in the first round, got to the second round, lost the semi-conference finals to the Rockets. 2016, you lose in the first round to the Trailblazers. 2017, you lose to the first round to the Utah Jazz after leading the series 3-2. And with the previous series with the Rockets, they were leading 3-1. So obviously a total letdown there. Then we get to 2018, 2019. You lose to the Warriors in the first round. 2019, 2020. You win versus the Mavericks in the first round. You lose the conference semifinals to the Nuggets. And then we get to 2020, 2021. You win the first round. You get to the conference finals for the first time in your history, and you lose to the Phoenix Suns. And then we get the present day with Tyronn Lue as your head coach. 21, 22, you had a winning season, but you were not able to make it to the playoffs. 23, 24, you lost in the first round versus the Suns. 23, 24, you lost to the first round versus the Mavericks. And last year, 24, 25, you lost in the first round to the Denver Nuggets. So, everybody, that is the history of the Clippers. I'm going to go back to their schedule. Their schedule is going to be tough, and this is going to be, you got Houston tonight, you got Denver, you got Los Angeles. Now, you got the Los Angeles Lakers. Then you have Orlando. Then you have Minnesota. So the next 5 games is going to be tough no matter what. And not to mention, you have 4 games with San Antonio, and you have OKC, and possibly, and I do mean possibly, Sacramento could give you problems. But the Clippers, we didn't expect much from the Clippers coming into this season, and we don't expect much from them down the stretch at all. We don't. So right now, this is how the West stacks up. You have Oklahoma, top dog in the West right now. Number 2, San Antonio. Number 3, Houston. Number 4, the Denver Nuggets. Number 5, the Los Angeles Lakers. Number 6, Minnesota Timberwolves. And then you have the 4 teams in the play-in tournament. If the playoffs were to start today as currently constructed, the Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors, Portland Trail Blazers, and the team that I just covered, the LA Clippers. So the playoffs are about to heat up, and as of right now, it is February 11th. But tonight and tomorrow, that will be the last few games before the All-Star break. So, one last thing, that is my remaining season outlook for the LA Clippers. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and the KeyOnMillions.co. Here is our merchandise page. You can go on our merchandise, and you can buy a shirt, you can buy a sweater, and you can buy a compression shirt. We are going to add a lot more apparel and a lot more merchandise over the coming months. Here is my media feed so that you can see all of my segments from previous shows, from the Super Bowl, 76ers, Oklahoma City Thunder. I did that not last week, but the week before last. And here is my profile so that you will know that it is me. And remember, everybody, one last thing. The key is always on time.